can see, and actually holds the gateway to the other areas that we'll be going to later on in the game. To start off though, we're going to the right, and you're going to see two guys up here through this tree path that are just standing here. These guys are very hard to kill. As you can see, every time I walk into them, they lose a little bit of health, but my health drops really quickly as well. Now this is going to take an absolute long time to kill each individual one of these guys. So what you have to do is to hit one, wait for your health to get back up, and then attack again. I'm going to fast forward just a little bit till I'm having my last hit on that guy, and once you've defeated both of them, you can talk to the chest and you get the Wand of Holy World. With the Wand of Holy World, we go up here and talk to this guy, who tells us, hey, look, that's the Wand of Holy World. Had you come up here before, he would have asked you to go get the Wand of Holy World. He tells us to go up here and touch this statue, which will give us the ability to use magic. We now have 148 MP and now the ability to use magic. But before we can really use magic, of course, we're going to have to find some spells. As we make our way back around, we stop and talk to this guy, Estelle, from Rance Village. He tells us that the senior was here just not long ago looking for two girls, so that at least gives us a hint that the senior was here at one point. The door next to him is locked for the moment, so right now what we're going to do is head up into the middle part of the ruins, and we're going to be looking for the ancient slate. Once again, like the first game, you're going to have to replenish your health by standing still in certain areas. The ruins happens to be one area where we can replenish our health. Unlike the first game though, we won't be getting a ring of healing. That's probably one thing that's so great in the first game that we're not going to be able to get in this one. Up here is a Rhoda tree nut. Now you can actually use the Rhoda tree nuts to replenish your health. When you make it over to this chest, open it up and you'll get the Ancient Slate. The Ancient Slate gives you a little bit of information about the temples of Ys as well as the books. With a little bit of information and the items that we found, it's now time to head back to the village. When we make it back to Rance Village, go over to the senior's house and we'll see that he actually has returned after his conversation with Estelle in the ruins. After talking to the senior, we now have another mission besides just finding Dr. Flare, as well as finding the cure for Lilia. We have to return the 6 books of Ys to the 6 goddess statues that are located in the divine area within the ruins. While I was in the ruins for the first time, I gained a little bit of money, which allowed me to buy my first shield in the game. With the information that we've gathered from the senior, it's time now to head back into the ruins. Back in the ruins, when we make our way back over to that locked door we saw before, when we go to talk to Estelle now, he'll tell us that he'll open the door since we now have that information. You'll soon find out that the ruins of this divine area are quite large and quite confusing. Making your way through these ruins for the first time will take you a long time, especially if you have no map or guide to go by. And even sometimes with a guide it can be really confusing. You will know that you're actually near one of the goddess statues when you see one of the boss doors. Now usually those rooms define that we actually have a boss coming up, but in this case, in this ruin alone, they actually means that it's one of the goddess statues, and when you go up to it, one of the books will dissolve and go into the statue, and they'll give you a little bit of information. Besides just giving us information, the goddess statues actually replenish your health. So anytime that you're near one of the goddess statues and you're training a little bit, go in there, talk to the goddess statue again, and they will fill your health back up. The only negative to it is you're going to have to listen to what the goddess statue said again in order to get that health bonus. As you can see, there's lots of different cave doors as we make our way through. Now this stair will take us to the second of the goddess statues. Even though we are now in the second Ys game, the thing is with the enemies, the strategy is going to remain the same. Hitting them once, backing away, and then hitting them again is probably the most effective way to defeat most of the enemies in the game. You of course once again don't want to keep walking into them, because usually you'll get stuck in them and end up taking damage from them. You can actually increase the speed of the text in the game by going into your menu and choosing fast, but I'm leaving it slow throughout the run just so to make sure that everyone can read everything that's said from every goddess statue. We now have 2 of the statues done, we now have 4 more to go, and after defeating a few enemies I'll work my way back into the cave and head to the next one. Besides just getting rid of these books though, there's other items as well as finding Dr. Flare in these ruins, so that's another one of the goals that we can accomplish in here. In this room, go into the middle door and you'll find one of the first items that we have to find in this area. Some rooms in this ruin won't lead you to any new paths and may get you to a dead end, but they usually contain an enemy with a one-on-one fight, so you can defeat the enemy, leave the room, and keep coming back in if you want an easy battle to get a little bit of experience. However, there will be a pretty good place to train after we actually finish the ruins. When we make it over to this wall, you can see that it's a little bit different from the other walls that we see, and this is where the pickaxe that we picked up comes in handy.